Hello, and welcome back to the Women's Fellowship 40-Day Bible Study. I hope you all had an amazing 2 weeks since our last meeting. For those who are new, you can follow the link below to check out Day 1. Then come back here so you don't get lost. In our last meeting, along with a few other things, we talked about finding a fellowship. But what is a fellowship? In the Bible, fellowship is the unity of Christians who share beliefs, convictions, and behaviors. It's also experiencing life together. As far as discovering our roles in life, we find that in our relationships through others. We'll talk more about our roles during the upcoming weeks, so let's just focus on fellowship for now. A great way to find fellowship and know others who share the same values is at church. Words from Rick Warren, a great pastor at Saddleback: "Church is like a ship, while small groups or Bible studies like this one are like the lifeboats." We are called to belong, not just believe. We belong in God's household with every other Christian. Personally and currently, I'm learning that it's not good to be alone. Isolation breeds deceitfulness, and it's easy to fool ourselves in thinking that we're mature if there's no one to challenge us. That's why we have to be wary about self-studies at home and having nothing else. We need something more. I would like to introduce the importance of going to church and what it can bring. A church meets 5 needs: a purpose to live for, people to live with, principles to live by, a profession to live out, and power to live on. Now, what is the difference between a church attender versus a member? The answer is commitment. Going to church to worship helps you focus on God, while fellowship helps you to face life's problems. Fellowship is a lot like community. The Bible's definition of community is a group of people who are united in sharing faith, values, and purpose, followed by support, fellowship, and worship. Community is God-centered and focused on His teachings. Again, as discussed in Day 1, you need to find a connection in regards to finding a church or Bible study. I thank you for coming back to this one. When you find one, you'll notice the real community happens when people know it's safe enough to share their doubts or fears without being judged. I recommend regular, frequent contact with your group so that you can build a genuine fellowship. But community requires commitment. Meet together even if you don't feel like it, because you believe it's important. A strong biblical fellowship can be built with sharing true feelings, encouragement and support, forgiveness and speaking the truth with love, keeping gossip out of the group, and respecting our differences. All in all, even out in the world, we should be focusing on what we have in common with others, not our differences. 1 Corinthians and Romans both really emphasize that we really need to get along with each other. Be peacemakers. We have to understand that no one can really meet all of our needs except God. Developing a friendship with Him takes desire, time, and energy. We're friends with God, but we're not His equals. He's our loving leader and we follow Him. We obey out of love, and friends of God tell their friends about God. Now really think about this. You are the only Christian some people will ever meet, and your mission is to share Jesus with them. There's plenty of verses instructing us to share about God to others. Top 5 will be listed below in the description. The best use of life is to spend it for something that outlasts it. Imagine this: the joy of greeting people in heaven whom you helped get there. That brings us to the importance of testimonies. According to the Bible, a testimony is the act of sharing one's personal experience, encounter, and reflections of God's work in their life. It's part of your life's message, and sharing such things will bring people together. Sharing stories build a relational bridge that Jesus can walk across from your heart to others. If you've never thought about your testimony, you can try writing it out. Some people like to do this, and it's good practice. They are personal and are so much more than "I grew up a Christian." You can divide your testimony in 4 parts: your life before you met Jesus, how you realized you needed Him, how you committed your life to Him, and the difference He's made in your life. This is your salvation story, your testimony. Of course, you have many other testimonies besides your main testimony. Those are the stories of what you've personally experienced, encountered, and reflections of God's work in your life as you continue to walk in Him. This is your homework for Day 2. Think about your salvation story and perhaps try getting connected with others. Maybe even stay a little longer after church to talk to someone. After this 40-day journey, we shall all have a family of friends. That concludes day 2, and as of a closing prayer, we ask God to help us find opportunities to share about Him, and to give us bravery, so that we can stand out of our shell, out of isolation, and surround ourselves with others who are on the same journey as we are. We all want the same thing, Lord, to praise You. Give us wisdom as we think back to the time where we joined the great family of believers, so that we can tread on, to grow and bring others to You, for them to find the same joy we feel. Amen. Well, see you in the next one.